Hi there everyone, this is Watch from the MW Technology channel on YouTube, and in this video we're doing a quick look and comparison at the new iPad mini versus the Nexus 7. Now these two tablets are fairly similar in terms of physical layout and overall screen size, but there's a couple of differences that we'll take a look at in order for you to make a decision on what tablet is right for you. Now the first thing we'll take a look at is the physical dimensions of both products. The iPad mini has a height of 200mm, a width of 134.7mm, and an overall depth of 7.2mm. Now on the other hand, we have the Nexus 7, which has a height of 198.5mm, a width of 120mm, and an overall depth of 10.5mm. So therefore the iPad mini is about 3.3mm thinner than the Nexus 7. Additionally, the iPad mini is 32 grams lighter than the Nexus 7, but overall both devices are really similar feeling in the hand, and any of these differences between the physical dimensions is not really a big concern. Now, of course, when looking at these two products, you'll notice that there is a little bit of difference with the screen size. The iPad mini screen measures 7.9 inch diagonally, and the Nexus 7 screen measures 7 inches exactly. Now, importantly, both devices have LED backlit, and they're both capacitive touch, and they also are using IPS technology, so you can view the screen at any angle. Now, even though the iPad mini has a 35% larger screen than the Nexus 7, it's important to understand that the Nexus 7 actually has a higher screen resolution of 800 by 1280, as well as a higher pixel per square inch ratio of 216 versus the iPad mini's 163 pixel per square inch. Now currently the iPad mini doesn't have a Retina screen available, so the resolution of 1024 by 768 is a standard across all the iPad minis available right now, but I'm sure in the future they'll come out with a Retina version which will definitely have a higher pixel per square inch ratio. So therefore currently the Nexus 7 delivers a little bit more sharper images than the iPad mini, but of course that difference is negligible. Now let's get to some of the processor specifications on both the devices. The iPad mini currently has a dual-core 1GHz A5 chip with 512 MB of RAM. Now these specifications are certainly inferior when we start comparing it to the Nexus 7, which has a quad-core 1.3 GHz Cortex A8 chip with 1 GB of RAM. Now during real-world tests, we see that there isn't a huge difference in terms of performance, even though the Nexus 7 has the superior parts inside. Now coming back to the main comparison in hand, we can see that the new iPad mini actually has some advantages to the Nexus 7, mainly concerning its new connectability features. The iPad mini actually has the latest generation of Bluetooth 4.0, and it has the 5 GHz Wi-Fi band for better, more stable Wi-Fi. Both of these two connectivity features are unfortunately missing on the Nexus 7. Now another similarity between these two devices is concerning the battery life. Now just for some specifics on battery capacity, the iPad mini has a 4,490 mAh battery, and the Nexus 7 has a 4,325 mAh battery. Now in terms of real life performance, both of these devices are fairly similar in terms of battery life. So therefore when you're going on the internet and watching some YouTube videos and all these kind of general things that you do on a tablet, expect to see somewhere around 10 hours in terms of battery life on both devices. Now in terms of operating system, both of the devices are running the latest generation of their respective operating systems. The iPad mini is running the latest generation of iOS 6, and the Nexus 7 comes with Android 4.1, but it is upgradable to Android 4.1.2. Now lastly, just in terms of build quality and durability, I think both of these devices are really well made. I do have to say that the iPad mini, of course, is up there with Apple's high standards in much of where the body components are made of high quality aluminum and overall more durable materials. Of course, the Nexus 7 is no cheaply made item. It's still made of fairly decent quality plastics and rubber, but of course it's not at the same level of detail and quality as the iPad mini. And perhaps this may be one of the reasons why the iPad mini is a little bit more expensive than the Nexus 7, retailing at $329 USD for the 16 gig version, which is about $130 more than what you would typically pay for a 16 gig Nexus 7. This of course is a pretty big price difference when we start considering some of the raw specifications that we talked about in this video. But overall, I think both of these devices are going to come down to a personal preference. Try them out for yourself. I hope this gives you a good understanding of out what they physically look like and perform side by side. But if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, please leave it in a comment down below. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and favorite the video if you like it as well, and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Take care.